The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Well, the stakes for the end of June don't really get much higher than what we got on stack for you on a Sunday afternoon from Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, as the Los Angeles Dodgers, who are threatening to run away with the National League West, face the Cincinnati Reds in a doubleheader. You get both games, same stream, live at Twitch at the same time. And so we're going to have at least 18 innings of baseball for you. And I got my mocha coffee ready to go. As I said, for the Dodgers, they are 49-25. They will feature Tommy John in Game 1. They have a big lead over Houston. But the biggest lead of all is over the Reds, who were supposed to finish within 5 games of first place overall. Game 76 for the Reds, Game 75 for the Dodgers. The stakes are this: the Reds are 9.5 back of first place. It is not an exaggeration to say that this doubleheader may be the season for Cincinnati. They really can do no worse than a split. They cannot lose any more ground to the Dodgers. If the Dodgers sweep the season, or the doubleheader, that is, then the Reds will be 11.5 back after 77 games. That's not impossible. Just ask the Yankees from 1978 how to do it. Come from the middle of July forward, but the Reds would need some help. They've already played 8 times this year, and the Dodgers have beaten Cincinnati 6 of those 8, including 3 straight last weekend in Los Angeles. The Reds are coming off a terrible road trip. They got swept by the Dodgers. They only took 1 of 3 from the Giants, and they struggled against Houston. The Reds need this right now. There is no more tomorrows if they fall further behind. They would just need too much help to do it. Even if they were to go and play 600 ball the rest of the way, the Dodgers, with a win today in any of the 2 games, are the first 50-win team of the replay. The Reds need these both. They can do no worse than a split, and they're going to do it without Johnny Bench behind the plate and Cesar Cedeno in center field, or Cesar Geronimo in center field. Ken Henderson is in center for the Reds. Vic Carrell is behind the plate, and Paul Mosco is the pitcher today in Game 1 for the Reds. And so there you have the scene set for you. It's a light rain and 77 degrees as you file in for a twilight doubleheader in the Queen City. Baby, if you ever wondered what it came to be, we're living on the air in Cincinnati. It's the Reds and the Dodgers in a doubleheader right now. As Retro Sports Network presents 1978 Major League Baseball replay today from Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, it's the first place Los Angeles Dodgers against the Chasers, the Cincinnati Reds, in this big NL West doubleheader. And it's brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on iTunes, Spreaker, Spotify, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. Well, I meant to come on the air at 11:30. It's now 11:51. Paul Mosco was 5-2 on the year as he gets ready to go with a 4.66 ERA. And really, I'm not sure where these 2 teams were in real life on the 30th of June, but Paul Mosco was really pitching in a sense a playoff game. They can lose 1, but they cannot lose 2. Mosco, making his 9th start of the year, he will make 25 in total, is 5-2 for the Reds with a 4.66 ERA. He is a fly ball plus pitcher, and in this ballpark, that should be okay. It's a neutral park. Right-handers should have a better chance of hitting home runs than lefties, but still, it's a neutral park. And that fastball tops out at 90. He has faced the Dodgers once, and he was lit right up like a Christmas tree on the 25th. 3 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, all earned. He walked 1 and struck out 3. He has thrown 48 in the 3rd innings overall, 51 hits, 7 homers allowed. How you doing, Andrew? 26 runs, 25 of them earned, He has walked 17 and struck out 32. As I said, the Dodgers beat him on the 25th. His season high for strikeouts was his first start against the Expos on the 7th. He struck out 11. Outside of that, he hasn't struck out more than 4. And as we start this doubleheader, here's who the Dodgers will line up in this big ball game from Riverfront. Andrew is playing some NASCAR red, white, and blue. Robbie Guynett for Alienware. Davey Lopes will lead off at second base. Bill Russell will play short and bat second. Another big boon for the Dodgers as they try to shut down the Reds for the season. Reggie Smith is back in the lineup in right field. He'll hit third. Ron Say is at third. He'll clean up. Steve Garvey will play first and bat fifth. Dusty Baker is in left. He'll go sixth. Rick Monday, who has been big in this replay for the Dodgers in center field, will bat seventh. Steve Yeager, coming to the end of his year behind the plate, will bat eighth, and Tommy John is on the mound going ninth. Defensively for the Reds, it's George Foster. He's a 5 and a 5 in left. Ken Henderson is a 3 in center. Don't really know what his arm is. Ken Griffey is a 7 and 8 in right. Around the infield, Pete Rose a 4 at third. Dave Concepcion a 9 at short. Junior Kennedy is in at second for the opener instead of Joe Morgan. He's a 6. And Johnny Bench, I take that back, is back in the lineup, but he's at first. No Dan Dreesen in game 1, at least to start the game. So Bench is at first, and Vic Carell is a 4 and a 6 behind the plate. So forget what I said about Bench. He is in the lineup. Moscow was a 7 fielder and should not commit an error. There's a nervous energy here at Riverfront. Davey Lopes digs in at 298, 9 homers, and 31 RBI. And if you're looking at Moscow's expected pitch count of 105, that should get you into the 7th on a good day. But the Reds bullpen, which is about as hairy as an East German figure skater's legs, should play a factor. We start the doubleheader with ball 4. Davey Lopes walks. I'm tired, but all right, Robbie. So Lopes is on first. He took a 3-1 high at inside from Moscow, and that'll bring up Billy Russell. At 252, 1 homer and 28 RBI. Lopes leads off at first. Moscow throws to first. Lopes back. And now they'll work on the runner at the plate. Smith to follow. We're doing both ends of the doubleheader. Game 1, top the first. Pitch to Russell. There goes Lopes. Ground ball up the middle. Concepcion has it. A long throw to Bench from behind the bag, and there's 1 out. So Lopes was sent, and he is on second. He would have gotten second anyway. Concepcion had to make a diving stop on the turf. 1 out for Smith, who's at 290. 12 homers and 39 RBI. And boy, you would think the Dodgers missed him, but they have the best record in baseball at 49-25. It's not what the Reds wanted to see. Pitch to Smith is a fly ball. Right field. Griffey and Bench, well, it kind of was a pop-up, and Bench has it. So 2 out. I've got my cataract glasses on today. Not. Now brings up Ron Say at 264, 13 homers and 47 RBI. So 1 on and 2 out, and Moscow trying to navigate through the heart of the Dodger order. Lopes goes into left. Back goes Foster to the wall. He makes the catch in left center field. And so they're breathing a bit easier in Cincinnati. They strand a runner to the Dodgers. No runs, no hits, and no errors. Half an inning in the books. Dodgers, nothing. Here come the Reds. And so here is Tommy John making his 16th start of the year. He is 5 and 6 with a 3.66 ERA. The computer loves to pull him early. He had 7 real-life complete games in 30 starts, and only 1 so far in 15. Remember, we had that Reds-Dodgers game when Tommy John struck out 11, and so he loves the Reds. Kind of like the way I love chicken wings. In 3 starts, he's gone 16 2/3 innings, 16 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned. He's walked 1 and struck out 15, including that 11 strikeout extravaganza at Dodger Stadium. He is 1-0 with an ERA of 2.70 against the Reds. He pitched relief against the Reds on the 25th. He went 1 2/3 innings, allowed a hit. And then against Atlanta, I think he got hurt. Went 1 inning, 2 hits, and struck out 1. So overall, 96 innings, 103 hits. 7 homers, 43 runs, 39 earned. He's walked 33 and struck out 56. Fastball pitcher. He's a ground ball plus pitcher. And Bugs Bunny says he's going to throw it about 84. The Reds will line up like this. Pete Rose at third will lead it off. Ken Griffey was in right field. He'll bat second. For some ungodly reason, Dave Concepcion is hitting third. Unbelievable. At short, George Foster cleans up in left. Johnny Bench, they're glad to see him in the lineup. He's at first today, batting fifth. Ken Henderson in center will go sixth. Junior Kennedy in for Joe Morgan at second will bat seventh. Vic Carell behind the plate. And Paul Mosco, who threw 15 pitches in his half of the first, will bat ninth. Defensively for the Dodgers, Dusty Baker is 7-4 in left. Rick Monday a 4-3 in center. Reggie Smith a 5-8 in right. Ron Say is 7 at third. Bill Russell an 8 at short. Davey Lopes a 10 at second. Steve Garvey a 9 at first. Steve Yeager a 7 and 8 behind the plate, and John is a good fielder, 8 range and a 947 fielding percentage. Rose at 309, 2 homers and 18 RBI. And the pitch to Rose is a base hit into right center field. Monday will pick it up, and Rose is on with a single for Ken Griffey. 269, 4 triples, 3 homers, and 29 RBI. Pitch from John will throw to first. Rose back. Rose was not stealing. Griffey can hit and run, but too early to do that. Line drive. Garvey's there. 1 away. That was a little loopy-loop shot, and Rose went right back to first. Here's Concepcion at 274. 2 homers and 29 RBI. Sparky has him hitting third again. Ricky Keeler said the last time we had the Reds on that Concepcion hit third 17 times over the course of the 78 season. He's not a power hitter at all. Pitch to Davey. Ground ball to short. Might be 2. Lopes for 1. Over to first. Is it? Yes, it is. 6-4-3. So the Reds go down. No runs, a hit, no errors. After 1, Dodgers nothing, Reds nothing. So a 7-pitch inning for John, and that'll bring up Steve Garvey. Garvey at 331, 14 homers, and 60 RBI. As I said, game 75 for the Dodgers, and 76 for the Reds. Pitch to Garvey, ground ball, base hit, left side. So Rose got a late jump on it, and for Garvey, he now has a 10-game hitting streak. Brings up Dusty Baker at 286, 5 homers and 31 RBI. Pitch to Baker, ground ball, number to Kennedy. He goes to second for 1. They throw to Bench at first, and Baker will beat it out. So Kennedy got the lead runner in Garvey, and even with Concepcion's good arm, Baker beat it out. Yep, golf. Early May, Robbie, is next on the Action PC list. I believe May 5th. Rick Monday at 279, 10 homers and 33 RBI. Runner on first, 1 out, top the second. Dodgers and Reds scoreless. From Riverfront, Monday into right. Griffey will make the catch. 2 out. Be curious what they do with their basketball and hockey games, because they usually release them with the season sets, but we're not sure when the season will end, and so you can't release a game if the date is not there. Steve Yeager at 224, 7 homers and 27 RBI. 2 out. Moscow from the stretch. There goes Baker. The throw down to Kennedy is not in time, and so Dusty has a second steal and an 0-1 count. Pitch, Yeager. Up the middle, that should score a run. Henderson has it on a hop. Yeager will score, and it's 1-0 Dodgers in the second. How you doing, Big Clue? So the Dodgers, first blood in this doubleheader. Brings up Tommy John, hitting 120 with an RBI. So a 2-out single off of Moscow puts the Dodgers on the board first. John, line drive. Concepcion makes the catch to retire the side. But Steve Yeager's single makes it 1-0. A run on 2 hits the Dodgers strand a runner after an inning and a half. It's 1-0 L.A. Foster, Bench, and Kenny Henderson here in the second. Foster at 263, 14 homers, and 55 RBI. I suppose you could, but you want to make it so, I mean, the money's in selling those deluxe sets. And he always usually includes the Stanley Cup winners or the NBA finalists and whatever greatest season thing that just comes with the basic. Pitch to Foster is a line drive to left. That gets past Baker. Foster will go into second standing as that one hit the turf and skidded all the way to the wall. So it's raining here at Riverfront. The wind blowing in from right at 10 and 76 degrees. John E., how are you, Braves for Life? Good to see you, buddy, and thanks for the sub. I do appreciate it. Johnny Bench at 385, coming off his injury. 14 homers and 42 RBI. Pitch from John. Bench, base hit left field. Say didn't get it in time. Foster scores. Bench is on with a double, and we are 1-1. Doing fine. Thanks, Lorenzo. Listening on the iPhone in the car. Just remember when you go under bridges and under those lights you have in California, the AM radio will crackle. He's sweating heavily. Has nothing to do with Robbie, they're not going to send out partial seasons unless the season's canceled. Doubleheader. You get both ends. Dodgers and Reds 1-1. Bottom of the second. Nobody out for Kenny Henderson, who is 3 for 12 since his trade from the Mets. He's hitting 250 with an RBI. Ground ball to first. Garvey takes it to the bag himself, and Bench will go to third. So 1 out. Dodgers 9.5 over the Reds. The Reds can do no worse than a split. Kennedy at 263. Junior has no homers and 4 RBI. Ground ball base hit right side. 2-1 Cincinnati. So Bench will score, and the Reds have 2 on the board and 1 out. July 4th might happen. Depends on what they decide they can do. Vic Corral is 2 for 11. He's hitting 182. Has struck out 3 times. Pitch from John is a ground ball to short. Russell flips it to Lopes. Over to Garvey, and I think Corral beat it out. He did. He did. So a fielder's choice. 6-4. And there's 2 out for Moscow, who's hitting 056. 1 for 18, but that hit was a double. Well, you know, Robbie, Lorenzo has to get out just for appearances. If he shows up for those games just absolutely pale and white-haired, people will wonder. So he's got to get out. Pitch to Moscow is a line drive right field. Corral goes to third, and the Reds are still cooking. They got 4 hits in the inning and 2 runs. So Pete Rose at the plate. He singled to start the ball game. John, 23 pitches through 9 batters, an inning and 2/3, 5 hits. So Rose trying to drive in run number 19. Yep, this is the old and aging Big Red Machine. But once in a while, you can warm it up. And now, you got a disturbance in the stands. It's still raining, but Dave Little and one of his Heartland wrestlers got into it. And so they had to go break that up. And so we'll take advantage of this delay. And when we get back, it'll be runners on first and third and 2 out. And this changes things a lot. We'll be right back. Well, I'll tell you what, Pete Rose was squatting at the plate when that fight happened behind home plate. Some sort of, as I said, wrestling altercation. And so after a half hour, we're ready to go. So to make this doubleheader even go even longer. Rose, as I said, singled his first time up. And there isn't a heck of a lot of home field advantage anyway in baseball, Mark, except for that you get to bat last. So runners on first and third still. Pitch counts now 75 for Moscow and 95 for John. So the bullpens will feature prominently in this game. Pitch to Rose is a ground ball base hit. Corral will score. Moscow will hold at third. And it's 3-1 with 2 out. So here's Griffey. He's 0 for 1. I'm not sure what they'll do. If it's neutral sites, if it's to do a Florida-Arizona thing. I think we miss the baseball enough. I think they got to play. But I'll be very curious to see what they're going to do. Pitch to Griffey is a line drive center field, and Monday will make the catch. But what a second inning. 3 runs, 5 hits, a fight, and no errors. The Reds strand 2 after 2 in game 1. The Reds 3, the Dodgers 1. So Moscow, who got his pitch count shelved by 30 with the fight, 29 pitches through 9 batters, 2 innings, 2 hits, a walk, and a run. Lopes walked to start the ball game. That's in the left. Foster, 1 out. Billy Russell's 0 for 1. Moscow pitching in the shirt sleeves at the 75 degree night. It is raining here at Riverfront. The turf is wet. Ground ball to Concepcion. Makes a late start at it, and that is a single. So not what the Reds needed after getting 3 runs. Yep, Dave Little needs to control its wrestlers. Lorenzo rooting for the New York Giants again. Hands on the 10-2 on the steering wheel, just like we were in driver's ed class. Defenseless against I was supporting you, Lorenzo. Reggie Smith is 0 for 1. Russell on first. Pitch from Moscow. In the center, Henderson is there for the second out. Ron Say is 0 for 1. So the Reds got 3 off of Tommy John in the second. Pitch to Say. Into right, Griffey has it to retire the side. So the Dodgers get a hit and strand him. 2.5 down, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. It's still the Reds 3, the Dodgers 1. So Concepcion, who's grounded into a double play his first time up, Foster and bench here in the third. And so we'll do the National League standings. This is what matters. Houston was in 4.5 of the Dodgers. Braves beat the Dodgers last night. And the Reds are 9.5 back. They've lost 7 of 10 in 2 straight. San Diego has won 8 straight. They're 10.5 back. In the East, Philadelphia leads Pittsburgh by 3.5. We'll show you the National American League game, too. Concepcion is ready. John, and there's a liner to left center field. That's a base hit for Davey. And a leadoff single for Foster, who doubled and scored in the second. 7 hits allowed for Tommy John. Throw to first, Concepcion back. The Braves did the Reds a favor. They beat Don Sutton in that game in Atlanta. Up the middle, Russell with a great stop. Lopes for 1. They throw to Garvey. It is just 1. But Russell robbed the Reds of a base hit with a tremendous stop behind the bag. Underhanded it to Lopes, and the throw to Garvey was late. So that'll bring up Bench, who doubled his first time up. Pitch to Johnny, line drive to Say, throws to first, and do they double Foster off? No. They thought they did. It's I.D. Jester at first, and first the hand went up. But Foster got his hand back on the bag in time, and there's 2 out. What a snare by Say, and that was an absolute howitzer to first. Here's Kenny Henderson. He's 0 for 1. So 2 out. Pitch from John. Up the middle, over to first, and that will retire the side. Max Cornelius, how are you? The Reds get no runs, a hit, no errors. We've played 3. It's 3-1 Cincinnati. So Garvey, Baker, and Monday here in the 4th. I would think, John, they'll probably go, I don't know what they'll do. Still think we're about 2 or 3 weeks away. I think they want to see what the winter sports do first, and then go from there. I really do agree with Dave Gardner. It really is going to be monkey see, monkey do. If we can get one sport reopened, we can get the other ones open. Steve Garvey singled his first time up. Remember, we have golf coming up in June. Not just fake golf, but the PGA Tour will return at Colonial. I like the Florida-Arizona plan. It'd make for an interesting year, and people might complain about it early, but I think people are just going to want to watch some sports. Garvey singled his first time up into left center field. Back goes Henderson. That's off the wall. Garvey's going for 2, and he's in there standing. So the 4th hit for the Dodgers. And that'll bring up Baker, who reached on a fielder's choice. Most viruses do die in the warmer weather. The problem is, it's going to come back in the fall. So be curious how they do it. Like I said, the PGA Tour returns in mid-June, ironically, to Fort Worth. And then I think we can kind of snowball from there. Remember, for baseball, that they were still 3 weeks short of starting the season, and so you're probably going to have to do a full spring training again. Pitch to Baker is a ground ball to Bench, and it played him instead of him playing it. It rolls into right field. Baker's on, and the tying runs are on for Monday. So Garvey on third, Baker on first. And Monday's 0 for 1. I think they were ready to open. I know that the playing surface was on the field. John says it was finished. Pitch to Monday is a line drive to right. Griffey makes the catch. They're going to try for Garvey. They're cutting it for second. The throw to Kennedy is in time. So the run scores. Baker slid, and Concepcion had it waiting. So a smart play to cut it off, and it's a double play. It goes 7-4-6, 9-4-6. Griffey to Kennedy to Concepcion, and it's 3-2. So Robbie's in Arlington and John's in McKinney. That's out near where the 8-bit guy lives, in Cannondale. Yeager singled his first time up. Nobody on. Now in a 3-2 ball game. Reds and Dodgers. Doubleheader, top of the 4th. Game 1. Yeager into center. Henderson should corral it. He does. And that will retire the side. The Dodgers get a run on a hit and they err by bench, but they get a runner doubled off after 3.5. It's 3-2 Cincy. So Kennedy, Corral, and Mosco here in the bottom of the 4th. And Mosco will bat, but this would be his last time. His pitch count down to 75 after the Wrestlers got into the skirmish. Can't believe that. Can't believe. And someone, yeah, we'll talk to Mr. Little about that. Here's Kennedy. He has an RBI single, 1-for-1. Pitch from John is a fly ball left field in the foul territory. And somebody from Covington made that catch. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes. To Kennedy. John delivers. Right back to TJ. Over to first. And that is an out. 1 away. And Robbie says, and I'm sure he's right, it's a zoo on the days when you have the Rangers and Cowboys on the same day. Since we were with you on Friday here, Amish Elvis is our latest follower. Johnny is resubbed. Rayfan 3, Manuel 1747, and Will Flamido Footy 1970. That's kind of like Dave Gardner's safety word last night. Here's Corral. He's 0-for-1 with a walk. He reached. And I'm sure driving into Arlington on a weekday with the traffic is a nightmare, too. Especially when Six Flags is open. Pitch to Corral, and that's a ground ball base hit up the middle. So 1 out from Mosco, who singled his first time up. But it's a sacrifice situation here. Garvey and Say play for the bunt. 8 hits for the Reds. John and Yeager change the signs. Mosco drops 1 foul, and the count goes to 0-2. So Paul will swing away here. Corral doesn't have bad speed at first as far as running. He's not a threat to steal. Swing and a fly ball to left. Back goes Baker. That's deep. That's off the wall. Corral will round third. He's going to score. The throw goes back in the infield, and Paul Moscow has made it a 4-2 ball game. That's the 9th hit for the Reds here in Game 1. So Tommy John, through 18 batters, has only retired 7. He's allowed 9 hits, 4 runs, all earned. And Rose is 2 for 2. Pete has singled twice and driven a run. And Robbie says, not just Six Flags, but we have a water park owned by Six Flags. It's open in the summer, too. I bet that feels good on those humid, sticky 95-degree days. But, man, the filtration system in that thing must be a killer. Pitch to Rose. Ground ball to Russell, who makes a diving stop deep in the hole. Throws it to Garvey, and that will retire. No, there's 2 out. It won't retire the side. So what a stop by Russell, and 2 out for Griffey, who is 0 for 2. So the Reds doing exactly what they needed to do here in Game 1. Pound and score. Pitch to Griffey. Ground ball right side base hit. Moscow will score. It's 5-2 Reds. Ten hits with 2 outs here in the 4th. And that brings up Concepcion, who was 1 for 2. He is singled and grounded into a double play. Pitch to John. Gets away from Yeager, and they'll move up. No, it's not a wild pitch. It's only a wild pitch if the runner moves, and Griffey did not move. So the count is a ball and a strike. Johnny, who I assume being a Braves fan, is from the South anyway, but when he says it's hot as hell here in the summer, Only lived here 3 years and never got used to it. I lived in New Mexico as a kid for a while. And it got warm. 110, even in the dry heat, is still warm. Pitch to Concepcion. Ground ball to Say. Over to first. And Davey is out by an eyelash. Sparky goes out to say something, and it was close, but it was a bang-banger. But the Reds get 2 more on 3 hits and no errors. After 4, 5-2 Reds. So it'll be John, maybe, Lopes and Russell to face Moscow here in the 5th. And even at 53 pitches after the fight, everybody's on short rest now. Yep, they had scheduled doubleheaders when I was a kid in the 80s. I don't know if this was a scheduled doubleheader, being a Friday night. I don't know if Big Clue is still with us, but he would be able to tell us if there was some sort of holiday in late June in Cincinnati, or if we're just making one up here. This is the 9th time these two teams have met this year, so they're halfway through their 18, and the Dodgers are 6-2. John's 0 for 1. No, I'm from Vermont originally. We moved out and then moved back. So Johnny lived at hot Atlanta in the 90s, but they got a lot of summer thunderstorms. It's a dry heat in the desert, Robbie. It's not terrible. But, man, you can smell that rain coming from 100 miles away. I'm not making that up. Pitch to John is strike 3. So the first strikeout for Moscow. And so through 18 batters, he's thrown 4 1/3 innings, 60 pitches, 4 hits, 1 run, or 2 runs rather, 1 earned. And he has walked 1 and struck out 1. And the walk was Davey Lopes. 0 for 1. In the center, back goes Henderson. And 2 quick outs. No commercial this time around. You got it during the fight. Bill Russell, 1 for 2. Got himself a single. We're waiting for a statement from Dave Little at the Heartland Wrestling Foundation over that fracas. That was supposed to be between games. And I don't know what was said, but that's the latest on that aspect of it. Russell's got a single. Pitch from Moscow is into center field. Back goes Henderson, just short of the track, and he dropped it. He dropped it out there. I thought that was in his glove. I look over, and Russell's standing on second. So that's a second error, and a big 2-out blunder brings up Reggie Smith, who's 0 for 2. So 5-2 Reds with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Pitch to Reggie, ball 4. And so now it's find your fingernails and chew on them time. Now we discussed this before, and we're not supposed to disrupt the actual game. I don't know why I just didn't do a rain delay. So here's Ron Say. He's 0 for 2. Moscow and Corral get together. Paul delivers. Say in the right center field. Russell will score. Smith goes to third, and it's 5-3. And here's Garvey. He singled and doubled, and Sparky kind of rocking back and forth on the top step of that dugout. He'd like to get him through 5 to get the 6th win. Mr. Forsberg had a tornado warning about 1 a.m. last night. Oof, thankfully the storm went north of him. So he'll pitch to Garvey, and that will be it. Pitch to Steve, struck him out. He got him on a 1-2 fastball. A run on a hit and an error, and we're halfway home in Game 1. Cincinnati 5, Los Angeles 3. No ad and no summary, but I am going to take a drink. Foster, Bench, and Henderson coming up. So Foster, 1 for 2. A double and a run scored. Reds and Dodgers in a big doubleheader the last day of June 1978, a Friday night in the Queen City. And the Reds need at least one. Pitch to Foster in the right center field. That's a base hit, so he'll go 2 for 3. Yep. Springtime means severe weather for our friends Robbie and John Appichatter in Tennessee, and all of our friends in the Deep South. Johnny Bench doubled, drove in a run, and scored. He's 1 for 2. Pitch to Johnny is a ground ball, base hit left side. Foster motors over to third, and the Reds have runners in the corners and nobody out for Kenny Henderson, who's 0 for 2. 12 hits for the Reds, 5 for the Dodgers. Pitch from John, struck him out. First one from John is an 82-mile-an-hour Bugs Bunny fastball, strike 3. Brings up Kennedy, who's 1 for 2. He is singled and driven in a run. From the stretch, ground ball, base hit up the middle. Foster scores. Bench will stop at second, Kennedy on first, and it's 6-3 Reds. You get the sense, though, that this game isn't over. The Dodgers, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. They've left 5 on. The Reds, 6 runs, 13 hits, 2 errors, and they've left 4 on. Carell, 1 for 2. Has scored twice and singled. Up the middle, a base hit. Bench will score. Kennedy goes to third, and that's it. Tommy puts down the fork in the antipasta salad, and here comes Charlie Huff. So Tommy John didn't have much of anything today. We go with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. It's 7-3 Cincinnati. So Huff, who has won his last 3 decisions, is 3-2 with 5 saves and an ERA of 2.59. This is his 21st appearance. He has pitched twice against the Reds. 3 innings out of the pen, 2 hits, a walk and a strikeout, and no ERA. He went 3 nights ago against Atlanta, in Atlanta, and went 2 innings, striking out 1. So overall, 31 1/3 innings, 23 hits, 2 homers. He's driving, Robbie. 16 runs, 9 earned. He's walked 15 and struck out 29. He throws a knuckler and a ground ball, and the Dodgers could use one right here. Moscow is 2 for 2. He is singled and doubled. Driven in a run and scored. Pitch to Paul, struck him out. So the 0-2 knuckler dances in there for strike 3. So 2 out for Rose, who is 2 for 3. So the Reds have tasted Tommy. Oh, Ronnie, you were supposed to pinch hit. I got distracted and forgot to pinch hit. Oh well. Rose is 2 for 3. He is singled twice and driven in a run. Pitch from Huff. Up the middle, Lopes, or Russell rather, takes to the bag himself, and that will be retired the side. The Reds catch Sparky napping. 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. We go to the 6th, 7-3 Cincy. Oops. Can't go with Sarmiento. He's my game 2 starter. 80 pitches. That's great. Because he's starting. Oh, fudge knocker. What do I have here? Oh, can't go with Hume. I can't go with Norman. I gotta go with, oh my God, Pedro Borbon. Well, that's not what the Reds needed. Their pen is really struggling, and they have Manny Sarmiento going in game 2. So they'll go with Pedro Borbon, who was 5-1 with a save, Dracula has an ERA of 3.92. Yeah, but Robbie, they're all on short rest. Against the Dodgers, he has thrown 6 times and has been hammered. 4 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 8 runs, all earned. He has walked 4 and struck out 4. He is 0-1, and that ERA is astronomical, 15.43. He throws the curve, and the fastball tops out at 84 rather. He pitched last night against the Reds, went 2/3 of an inning. So Pedro Borbon has thrown 8 straight games. 8. 41 1/3 innings, 43 hits, 19 runs, 18 earned. He's allowed 3 homers, he's walked 7 and struck out 19. Buckeye Todd, sorry that your computer crashed. He lost his excellent NBA replay. Using replay. And so we'll show it to you, Robbie. Sarmiento goes game 2. All they have left that's not tired is Hume, who's going to start in a couple days, and Doug Bear. And that's it. They got to go with Borbon with a 4-run lead. They'll go with Bear later, but right now it's Borbon. Oh, Windows 10. It's not bad. What'd you have before, 7 or 8? Dusty Baker's licking his lips. He's 0 for 2. Yeah. Oh, 7. Ooh, no, 7 was my favorite. 10's not bad. A lot better than 8. You're glad you skipped 8. Pitch to Baker. Into left field for a base hit. And so now Sparky starting to bite the nails. Here's Rick Monday. Rick, 0 for 1 with an RBI. Pitch to Rick. Right field. Griffey comes in, makes the catch. Baker goes back. 1 out. The rain, it's kind of a light drizzle. 73 degrees, and it's no wind. Flags are still. Yeager 1 for 2. That 10 isn't bad. Yeager drove in his 28th of the year. Tonight, into center, Kenny Henderson has it for the out, 2 away. So Borbon will face Huff, I imagine. Charlie is 0 for 3 on the year. But the Dodgers pen, I think, is pretty deep. Yep, Ted Martinez will pinch it. Todd kind of did what the rest of us did. Rediscovering cards and dice. That's the latest episode of Digital Dice. So Ted Martinez is 11 for 26. That's my birthday. Hitting .423. A homer and 4 RBI. 2 out, 1 on. Borbon deals. And there's a sharp grounder to bench. He takes it to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. It'll be Lance Routzan coming in for the Dodgers to face Griffey, Concepcion, and Foster. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 7-3 Reds. 2 games and double the... Hey, there's no fun in quotes there, Gardner. It's fun. So let's tell you about Routzan making his 15th appearance of the year. He has no record and no ERA in 17 innings. He's faced the Reds once, allowed 3 walks in 2 innings. He last pitched the 29th against the Braves, so last night, 2 2/3 innings and 2 hits. 17 innings overall, 16 hits, as I said, no runs. 9 walks and 5 strikeouts. And the fastball goes at 85, but that ball will be on the ground. Plus. And I hope you watch it all, too. Pitch to Griffey is a ground ball to Russell over to first, 1 out. You missed it. We had a fight, Dave. Dave Little's wrestlers got into it in the stands, and we had a half-hour delay in the 2nd inning. Here's Concepcion, 1 for 3. He's singled and grounded into a double play. Pitch to Dave is into right field. Back goes Smith to the track. Makes the catch, 2 out. For Foster, who's 2 for 3. George has singled, doubled, and scored twice. Pitch from Lance. Foster, ground ball, right side, base hit. So the Reds now have 15 hits here in game 1. Johnny Bench, 2 for 3. Has singled, doubled, scored twice, and driven in a run. 7-3 Reds here in the bottom of the 6th. Come on, you'll have Dave be drinking lots and lots of Bananas Foster's coffee if you're doing that. Throw to first, Foster's back. Routes and delivers. Ground ball to Say, and he misplays it. So he'll pick it up. Foster moves to second. And so that's the first error for the Dodgers. And they'll bring up Kenny Henderson, who has struck out. He's 0 for 3. So the Reds threatening here in the 6th. Pitch. Line drive, right field, all the way to the wall. Foster scores. Bench scores. Henderson's into third standing. 9-3 Reds. And so there you go. The 76 series was on NBC. No, because Dave would do it for a week just so I'd pay him the $500. So Henderson on third. Kennedy at the plate. Where's all my Reds fans today? They're winning this one big. Not taking that sucker bet, because you would. Kennedy 2 for 3. Ball 4. And 76. ABC's first series was 77. Corral 2 for 3. Has singled twice with an RBI. Pitch to Corral. Line drive, base hit, left field. Henderson scores. Corral slides into second. The 81 Reds team was pretty good. Reds have 17 hits in this game. 17. And 10 runs. Pedro Borbon at the plate. And I'm going to hit him. I need him to pitch that inning. Pitch from Routson. Base hit, right center field. Kennedy scores. Corral scores. And it's 12-3 in game 1. I'll wait till he goes back to work. So Rose is 2 for 4. And the Reds have broken open game 1. Pitch to Rose is popped up left side. Baker will have it. And the Reds get 5 runs on 4 hits and an error. And after 6, the Bengals 12, the Rams 3. So Lopes, Russell, and Smith. And the question for Borbon is, how many outs can they get before they got to burn Bear? Lopes is 0 for 2 with a walk. In the center, Henderson, 1 out. 3 pitches, 1 out. Here's Russell, 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. Pitch to Russell. Line drive right to Borbon. 2 out. Here's Reggie Smith. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Borbon deals. Line drive to right field. Griffey will pick it up. And Sparky rocking back and forth on the top step. He'll pitch to Say, who was 1 for 3. A single and an RBI. Bear says he's ready. Garvey on deck. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. And so they tried to get Borbon through the inning. And so they're going to Doug Bear. Bear's job, 7 outs. 34th game for him. He is 3-2 with 18 saves and a 1.99 ERA. Against the Dodgers, he's only thrown a third of an inning. This is his third appearance, and has a save. He last pitched 2 nights ago against the Reds. He got a strikeout in his inning. So overall, 40 2/3 innings, 28 hits, 9 runs, 2 homers, all earned. He walked 13 and struck out 39. A ground ball plus pitcher. And that fastball is hard. He throws in the mid-90s. 2 out. Pitch to Garvey. Ground ball foul. First base side, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. So in the rain. Yep, the Reds are up 12-3 here in Game 1. Bears pitch. Ground ball, right side, base hit. Smith will score. Say will go to third, and it's 12-4. That brings up Baker 1 for 3. He has singled, scored, and stole a base. The value thingy is kind of the equivalent of a salary. So if you were to do a draft league, that would be the salary. So if you wanted to do a salary cap, Doug Bear would cost you $4 million. Baker 1 for 3. 8 hits for the Dodgers here in Game 1. Ball 4. They're loaded. And remember, this is the last fresh reliever the Reds have. Here's Monday. He's 0 for 2 with an RBI. They're loaded. Say on third. Garvey on second. Baker on first. Pitch to Monday. Into right center field. Say scores. Garvey scores. Baker to third, and it's 12-6. Yeah, $100 million and draft your own team for sure. Here's Yeager, 1 for 3. He has an RBI and a single. Baker on third, Monday on first. Pitch to Yeager. Ground ball to Concepcion. He'll flip it to Kennedy, and the side is retired. Oh, baby. 3 runs on 3 hits and no errors. Stretch time in Game 1, 12-6 Cincinnati. Yeah, but would George Hendrick pay more than $1 for you? So let's see what they do at Roundson. Griffey 1 for 4 with an RBI. And Dave got his wish already. We're almost at an hour here because Game 1's taking so long. Pitch to Griffey is a ground ball up the middle. Russell over to Garvey. And they got away from Steve. The throw was high. Griffey will hold it first. And in comes Terry Forster. And so the Dodgers have another error. This is Forster's 19th appearance of the year. He is 2-0 with 7 saves and an ERA of 2.29. He last pitched against... He was big boned. Yeah, he was not a fat tub of goo. So against the Braves, he went an inning on the 26th with a hit. He's thrown 19 2/3 innings, 15 hits, 2 homers, 6 runs, 5 earned. He's walked 4 and struck out 11. And you're right, goo in the heat ain't good, but it's only 71 degrees. He faced the Reds twice in April. Got a win and a save. Concepcion 1 for 4. 12 runs, 18 hits, 2 errors for the Reds. They've left 7 on. The Dodgers aren't quite dead yet. It was 12-3. It's now 12-6. 6 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. They left 8 on. A 55-gallon drum, David Wells was. There goes Griffey. Jerry Grody in behind the plate now. That's a double switch, by the way. And Griffey has his 12th steal. So Grody, a 4-1 behind the plate, will bat 9th. And Forster takes over for Yeager in the 8-hole. Concepcion with a 1-0 count, 1 for 4. He is singled and grounded into a double play. An oil well for Cologne. Sabathia is big bone. Pitch to Concepcion is a ground ball to Russell over to first for the out. Sabathia did lose the weight. And did not pitch well. When he put the weight back on, he pitched a lot better. Here's Foster. He's 3 for 4. Singled twice, doubled, scored 3 runs. Front office football. When's the new one's supposed to be coming out for 2 years? Depends. If you like the management games and the action PC games are 2 different animals. Some people love the management part, and some people like the replay part. You can get a 30-day money-back guarantee for any of the action PC games, by the way. Pitch to Foster is a line drive left center field. Griffey will score. It's 13-6. And then he'll bring up bench. You know, Gardner's giving me a hard time because he wanted me to have a 17-inning game. He's going to get even something better. He's going to get like an hour and a half first game here. Bench 2 for 4. He's doubled, singled, driven in a run, and scored 3 times. 13-6. The Reds have 19 hits. Pitch to Johnny, ball 4. And Tubbs of Goo don't like Skyline Chili. Here's Kenny Henderson. His hit was a triple. He drove in 2. I think you'd like it. Football has the historical disc, and so does baseball. So bench on first, Foster on second. Still 1 out for Henderson. And there's a fly ball to left. Baker back in the corner. Makes the catch. Foster goes back and will tag. They'll throw to third. Say, can't get the tag on. It was a decent throw. But Foster's on 2 out. Foster on third. Bench on first. Well, the patches are free, but not the full game updates, Robbie. Kennedy 2 for 3. Junior has singled twice and driven in 2. Ah, the old NFL playbooks. Yep. Oh, really? X and O site. Okay. Pitch to Kennedy from Forster. Struck him out. So a 2-2 in there at the belt for strike 3. The Reds get 1 more on a hit and an error after 7 in game 1. Goodness gracious. Cincinnati 13, Los Angeles 6. He might like it then. You can get the basic for under $40. So Jerry Grody at 245, no homers and 3 RBI. Lopes and Russell to follow. Bear, 19 pitches to get 1 out in the 7th. He needs to get the next 6. Ground ball to Rose. Over to first, 1 out. I'd have to look. I think it's not a best season. I believe it's an average of some sort. Might be best season with year before and year after. It should be in the description on the DK Sports page. Here's Lopes. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. Bear delivers up the middle. That's a base hit. So the Dodgers now have 10 hits. Here's Russell. He's 1 for 4 with a run scored. Throw to first. Lopes is back. Now he goes home. In the right center for a base hit. Lopes will hold at second, and the Dodgers are cooking again. This Reds bullpen is about as bad as Taco Bell on Thanksgiving Eve. Reggie Smith is 1 for 3. He has singled, scored, and walked. Corral and Bear have a few words. Ball 4. They're loaded. Ron Say, 1 for 3. He has singled, driven in a run, and scored, and walked. Yes, baseball sims are an essential purchase. So the Dodgers again threaten. Pitch to Say. Fouled back behind the plate, and the count goes to 0-2. 1 out, Garvey on deck. Garvey, by the way, 3 for 4. Big Clue sitting down with a juicy fat cheeseburger with a dill pickle. Cheating with a Coke. You betcha. Pitch to Say. Ball 4. Lopes will score. And it's 13-7 Cincinnati. Steve Garvey is 3 for 4. He has driven in 1. He has scored twice and struck out. He has singled twice. Dusty Baker on deck and Rick Monday, who kills in my replays. Coming up. Corral and Bear again. Bear to Garvey. Ground ball to bench. Trying for 2. Concepcion for 1. And that's it. They get 1. They get 1. No throwback. Russell scores. And it's 13-8 here in Game 1. And that'll bring up Baker, who was 1 for 3. Wow. So Smith on third. Garvey on first. The Dodgers were down 13-3, or 12-3. And now it's 13-8. Bear delivers. Ball 4! And now Rick Monday, who is 1 for 3. He has singled. He's driven in 3. He's not the tying run. But now, who do you go with in the 9th for Cincinnati? They're out of people in the pen. Sarmiento starts Game 2, or else you could go to him. Pitch to Monday. Ground ball. Bench. Flips it to Bear, and the inning's over. But the Dodgers, wow. 2 more on 2 hits and no errors. We go to the bottom of the 8th in Game 1. Cincinnati 13. The Dodgers 8. So Forster. Yeah, Rose is on the bullpen. Who do I go to? Corral is 3 for 4. He is doubled and driven in 2. Forster. Ground ball right back to Terry. Over to Garvey for the out. Sparky says to Bear, can you at least start the inning? Bear says, I will do what I can. He will bat. With a 5-run lead, you can think you can get 3 more outs. He singled his only at-bat of the year and drove in a run. No, I didn't say that. Did not say that at all. It's supposed to be coming out from OOTP's people, but I'm not going to say any more than that. I would be surprised if it was any more than front office football and an OOTP interface. But we've waited 2 years for it. Pitch to Bear. Ground ball to Russell. Over to first for the out. In fact, you kind of wonder now whether it's vaporware. I'd love to be proven wrong, but it's been so long. The interface will change, but it's been so long, you just kind of wonder if it's coming out at all. Pete Rose is 2 for 5. He is singled twice and driven in a run. Forster's pitch. Ground ball to Russell. Over to first. And that'll do. No, it got away from Garvey. It got away from Garvey. It was a low throw, and Rose goes to second. So that's the third Dodger error, and that'll bring up Griffey, who was 1 for 5. Oh, that's on Russell. That's not on Garvey. That's on Russell. The throw was low. Garvey tried to dig it out and couldn't. Pitch to Griffey. Popped up right side. Garvey. And somebody from Dayton makes that play in the stands. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Charlie's hustle pays off once again. The 1-2 to Griffey. Up the middle. Lopes to first. To retire the side. So the Dodgers, or the Reds rather, no runs, no hits, and 1 error. We go to the 9th. Cincinnati 13, the Dodgers 8. An hour and 10 minutes for game 1. So the Reds, 13 runs, 19 hits, 2 errors, and they've left 10 on. Terry Forster will not hit, I'm sure. 8 runs, 11 hits, 3 errors for the Dodgers. They've left 11 on. Johnny Oates to pinch hit. Johnny is at 194 with 3 RBI, 6 for 31. Ground ball, Rose to first, 1 out. Jerry Grody, who was in for Steve Yeager, 0 for 1. Bear. Into center, Henderson, 2 out. And although Bear has thrown a lot of pitches, he's 1 out away from getting the job done. Here's Lopes. He's 1 for 4 with a run scored and a walk, and the hit was a single. Bear delivers like to Dougie Bear, and the Reds have won game 1 by the score of 13-8. And so the fight from Dave Little's wrestlers doesn't hurt. Tommy John goes to 5-7. Paul Moscow goes to 6-2. And you're right, 42 base runners. Wowzers. All right. You wouldn't have won if we'd beaten you. Come on. So Bob Welch and Manny Sarmiento. But first, a word from our sponsor. Well, it is now raining harder here in Game 2. There is no wind. As Manny Sarmiento, they hope to get 7 out of him in Game 2 because they burned everybody in Game 1. Sarmiento making his third start of the year, or 4th start of the year, with a 4.01 ERA. He is 3-3. My nose itches with a save. He pitched twice in relief against the Dodgers in Los Angeles and took no decision, but got hit hard on the 25th. 2/3 of an inning. 2 hits, 3 runs all earned with a walk. So overall, 49 in the 3rd innings, 53 hits, 24 runs, 22 earned. He has allowed 6 homers, and as Buckeye Todd says, 16 on the real year. A fastball pitcher, a fly ball plus pitcher at 90. He has walked 13, and struck out 36. And here is a lineup for the Dodgers in Game 2. Davey Lopes will lead off at second. Billy Russell at short will bat second. Reggie Smith will go in right field batting third. Ron Say cleans up at third. Steve Garvey at first will bat fifth. Dusty Baker in left will bat sixth. Billy North is in center for Game 2. He will go seventh. Jerry Grody behind the plate will bat eighth. And Bob Welch, having a sentimental journey, will pitch and bat ninth. Changes defensively, a doubleheader. This was a real-life doubleheader, and so you get one here. And I can't believe that the Reds scored 13 with Concepcion batting third either. You know, there are 3 to 4 defensive changes for the Reds outside of Sarmiento. And I think Bob Welch has the most dreamy ebony eyes you possibly could have. Cesar Geronimo is a 9 and a 5 in center. Joe Morgan a 9 at second. Danny Dreesen an 8 at first. And Don Warner is a 4 and a 3 behind the plate. Lorenzo says that, not realizing that I started this stream an hour and 16 minutes ago. So, Davey Lopes at 297, 9 homers, and 31 RBI. Robbie, the intern, by the way, did all the stats between games 1 and 2. While I went and gargled with a bunch of Santa Flush. So, Lopes is ready. Rose and Dreesen played for the bunt. And game 2 starts with a fly ball to left. Foster, 1 away. So Billy Russell at 255, a homer, and 28 RBIs. I knew when you started, Lorenzo says, is following along even when dodging road-killed squirrels. Well, call Granny from the Hillbillies. Jed, we got some victuals for us tonight. Oh, some roadkill squirrel. Here's Russell. Mark Forsberg doesn't like doubleheaders. 3 things can happen and 2 are bad. So the Reds gain a game. So the worst they can be is 9.5 back of the Dodgers. The best they can be is 7.5. Nobody is safe from my sharp tongue. Pitch to Russell. And that's into left field. Back goes Foster in the corner. Has it for the out, 2 away. It is still raining. There is no wind. 66 degrees as we start this one about 8:50 in the evening. Reggie Smith at 290, 12 homers, and 39 RBI. Sarmiento deals into center field. Geronimo makes... No, he bobbled it. And hung on to it. He snow-coned it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hot potato, and got it just before it hit the ground. Wow. No runs, no hits, and no errors. The Dodgers go in order. After half an inning, the Dodgers nothing. Here come the Reds. And so Bob Welch makes his first ever career start in the major leagues. He made 13 on the year. He is 1-0. He's only been in or with the Dodgers for 10 days. He has a 5.40 ERA. 1-0 with a save. He got that one against the Reds in relief on the 25th at Dodger Stadium. So against the Braves in a rough save, he went an inning, allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, a hit and a walk. So 3 1/3 overall innings, 3 hits, a homer. He walked 2 and struck out 2. Now, be nice to Dave. So defensive changes for the Dodgers. It's North, who's a 5 and a 3. In center, and Grody, a 4 and a 1 behind the plate. Welch is a 5 on the mound. Lineup for the Reds in game 2. Pete Rose is at third. He'll lead off. Ken Griffey is in right. He'll bat second. No, I trust you. You were here for the first one. He's nice to me off camera. Joe Morgan will bat third and play second. George Foster cleans up in left. Dan Dreesen will bat fifth and play first. Concepcion hits a more reasonable sixth in the lineup. Cesar Geronimo is in center. He'll bat seventh. Don Werner will catch and bat eighth. So the Reds have Johnny Bench on the bench. Manny Sarmiento, who threw 10 or 17 pitches in the first, will bat ninth. You missed it last night, Lorenzo. They graded me on Dave's chat. I was named Captain Intangibles. So Rose at 310, 2 homers and 19 RBI, and Welch has a pitch count that can go the distance. And the Dodgers could use it. They used 3 pitchers in game 1. Lorenzo finds that Dave is a really nice gentleman based on that. I bet when we do see baseball again, we will see a bunch of double dips. I don't mind analytics. What'd you think of that for? I think you can go too far with them, but launch angle and bat speed and OPS are things I like. Pitch to Rose is a ground ball to Garvey. Takes to the bag, and that's how this one starts for the Reds. Nobody or one out. I don't hate analytics. I'm not in love with them. I see the value of WAR. I believe in OPS and ERA plus more. There. I was a poet and didn't know it. Oh, Captain Intangibles. Griffey at 267, 3 homers and 30 RBI. Robbie, that goes back to the NFL Today back in the mid-'80s when they would bet on this game. So, what are the difference between the Cowboys and the Giants? And so there would be a board, and whoever they thought was the better in certain categories had a check mark. So if the Cowboys had the better offense, they'd get a check. If the Giants had the better defense, which they often did, they'd get a check and special teams and all that. And the last category was intangibles, which is kind of like, what spices do you put in your food? Or an X factor. And so that's the joke. Griffey, did I tell you he's hitting 267, 3 homers, and 30 RBI? I did now. Pitch from Welch. Ground ball to Say, over to first, and Griffey beat it out. It could have. We did it last night. So that's an infield single for Griffey, and 1 out for Morgan at 228, 8 homers, and 29 RBI. Hit and run is on. The throw to second. Griffey's in there. So Morgan swung on and missed. And for Griffey, that's steal number 13. And the count is 2-2 to Morgan. 1 out. Welch. Up the middle. Lope stops it. Throws to first. Griffey goes to third. Morgan is retired. 2 out for George Foster at 272. 14 homers and 56 RBI. Ray fan, by the way, in here. He followed us a few days ago. He was number 96. Pitch to Foster. Ball 4. George Dreesen did not play game 1. 256, 8 homers, and 35 RBI. 2 out. Reds took the opener 13-8 in this Moonlight Madness doubleheader at Riverfront. In the rain. And there's a ground ball to Garvey. Takes it to the bag, and that will retire the side. The Reds strand 2. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 1, Dodgers nothing, the Reds nothing. So Say, Garvey, and Baker here in the second. Say at 265, 13 homers, and 49 RBI. I love the old doubleheaders. My mother hated them because she had to sit through and watch them. That's why somebody got a TV for their 12th birthday. Just saying that. Pitch to Say. Line drive, left field base hit. So the Dodgers get their first hit of the second game. We had 42 base runners in the first one. Yep, we'll play the All-Star game. We're about a week and a half from that. I got a little boombox with a TV in it for my 12th birthday. And I'll tell you why in a moment. Garvey at 336, 14 homers and 62 RBI. Pitch from Sarmiento, line drive to left. That's a base hit. So the Dodgers have runners on first and second. Nobody out for Baker. 287, 5 homers and 31 RBI. Sarmiento deals, popped up left side. And Concepcion got that. They called an infield fly roll, and Rose will get it 1 out. Brings up Billy North, who did not play in Game 1. 269, no homers, and 9 RBI. Has 10 steals, but he'd have to clear the bases to do that. Grounder to Rose. Might be 1. Over to first. North can run. Got him. On a bang-banger. Rose does have a good arm. And that'll bring up Brody with 2 out. Buckeye Todd was 12 and 75. Wow. A full wax box of 75 tops. That's awesome. Grody at 236, 3 RBI. Nice. Lorenzo is calling me a pigtail puller. That's just not true. Pitch to Grody is a base hit left side. Say will score. Rose didn't get there. Garvey's going to round third. Foster throws home. Throw is well up the line. And it's 2-0 Los Angeles. So Rose couldn't get down there to stop the ball. And Garvey and Say both score. It's 2-0 Dodgers. So Jerry Grody with a big hit. And that'll bring up Welch, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout on the replay. 5 for 29 or 172 in real life. Pitch from Sarmiento struck him out. He swung on and missed an 0-2 fastball, and that will retire the side. But the Dodgers draw first blood in Game 2. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the second. 2-0 Dodgers. So Concepcion, Geronimo, and Warner. Still, though, to find a wax box in 75. I bought my first wax box in 81. I think it was football. And I paid $16 for it. From Perriard's IGA in Middle Granville, New York. And I would buy like a box every 3 or 4 months. Or my mother would. Concepcion at 272, 2 homers and 29 RBI. They're not going to bunt here. Penguin speed. Pitch to Concepcion is into center. North makes the catch. Yeah, a full box today would be in the thousands. I think the 78 boxes are going for $500 or $600. Geronimo at 258 did not play in Game 1. 3 homers and 22 RBI. Pitch from Welch is right back to Bob over to first for the out. I showed you the American League or the National League standings in Game 1. The Rangers have won 12 straight, and they've tied California and 2 back at Kansas City. Baltimore by a half game over the Yankees. They've won 6 straight. Milwaukee 5.5. The Red Sox 6.5. Tomorrow's noon game. Baltimore and Boston from Fenway, I think. If it's from Baltimore, I gotta do the stadium up. It's because they're not in dead last. Don Warner's hitting 090. Not even hitting my weight. No homers and 9 RBI. You're holding your own. You split this, you're the first team to 50. Ground ball to Russell deep in the hole over to Garvey for the out. And so that will retire the side. The Reds go down in order after 2-0 Dodgers. So Sarmiento through 2 innings has faced 9 batters, 36 pitches, 3 hits and a strikeout. And Lopes is 0 for 1. I told you I got a TV for my 12th birthday, so the fall of 83. And the reason why was the summer before, we got ESPN on cable. Okay? And so if you have a boy in a wheelchair who can't get a girlfriend because he's only 12 or 11, what's he going to do? He's going to watch sports all the time. Australian rules football. The tipping point, I think, for my mother was Tom Mees. Absolutely. He was there in 82, 83. Greg Gumbel. I think he still had the same rug on his head. Chris Berman. Davey Lopes, by the way, 0 for 1. Pitch to Davey is a base hit left field. Foster throws to second. Lopes is in there with a double. Big Clues first wax packs for the 85. Top, Small Town, No Donruss, or Flair. The quality control for those were horrible anyway. So 2 packs at 35 cents each. Yeah, those were good cards. That's a sharp set. Rose's first card as a player manager. So one of those things that ESPN showed that made my mother's hair curl, besides 8,000 college football games and basketball games, I'm sure that her reaction to Dick Vitale probably caused her to drink too. All right, baby, you put that on the board. Michael Jordan is a diaper daddy. So when they didn't have anything to show, and they couldn't do talk shows, pitch to Russell, is a ground ball to Morgan over to first, and Lopes will go to third. Instead of it being able to show golf, they took 4 horrible golfers. No names. They weren't even tour players. And they held the world's worst avid golfer contest. And because it was ESPN and their sponsors were nothing, they were actually owned by Getty Oil at that point. 3-0 as the run scores, by the way. And Russell's on first. I didn't see that. Trying to tell a story. So the ground ball to Morgan goes wide of the bag. And Russell's on. And the run scores. I like Billy Packer. He got pretty cranky towards the end. So it's 3-0 Dodgers. As Uncle Ron gets lost in story time. Reggie Smith is 0 for 1. Pitch. And there's a liner to right. Griffey's there. Russell will hold one out. He was a PTP, baby. Here's Say. Say scored and singled his first time up in the second. So they had on these horrible golfers. They must have been 20, 30 handicapped golfers. And so they're showing around. So it's a summer day, and it was much too nice for me to be inside. And so my mother walks past the living room. You're watching golf in the middle of the afternoon during the week, Ron. What's on? Nothing. And she saw what it was, and they must have said, here's Todd Buckeye, who's a 67 handicap. The TV got shut off, and I was thrown out of the house. You go outside and play. You go outside and play right now. And I believe that summer I got my own. That Christmas birthday I got my own TV. At 12, Lorenzo was extricating himself from the garbage can where Big Noah Booger Fuentes had placed you, because I sat on his big man on campus seat. No TV for you. Was there even TV when you were 12 years old? Pitch to Say is popped up left side. Concepcion should have it. He does. 2 out. Lorenzo will accuse me of being a big meanie now. Steve Garvey singled and scored his first time up. 3-0 Dodgers in the top of the 3rd inning. Game 2 with this doubleheader. Russell was going to steal, but it's a ball. That's HBO. No, we had HBO. Yeah, Showtime. I think they added Showtime that year. Deciphering the mixed signals. Yeah, wink, wink. That was it. They didn't put a filter on HBO in my room either. I could see all those beautiful Klingon ships. And Dickie V certainly is a huge Tampa Bay Rays fan. 1-0 pitch to Garvey. Ball 4. So Sarmiento scuffling a bit here in the 3rd with 2 out. Baker 0 for 1. Russell on 2nd. Garvey on 1st. Game 2 of this twin bill. And now it's a heavy rain here, but we will not have a cancellation. We might get another delay, but we won't get a cancellation because I shut it off. Pitch to Baker in the rain, in the raindrops, left field. Russell scores. Garvey goes to third. And 2 out. And Buckeye Todd is telling me his dreams of watching Red Shoe Diaries. That was not that early in the 80s, was it? Garvey on third, Baker on first. 4-0 Dodgers. Here's Billy North. He's 0 for 1. And there's a looper into right field. Garvey scores. Baker goes to third. Nothing wrong with that. Appichatter should have been here for the first game. He's not going to like the second one. Watching sports, or sports were on a tiny transistor radio. And that's the way they should be. So Grody at the plate, he had the 2 RBI single in the second. He's 1 for 1. Reds took game 1 13-8. Throw to first. North is back. 5-0 in a downpour here in game 2. Pitch to Grody. Runner goes. And they'll concede the base to North. So 2 out now. Runners on second and third. The Reds are in a heap of trouble pitching-wise because they had to burn Manny Sarmiento to start game 2. Pitch to Grody up the middle. Concepcion over to Dreesen, and they're going to throw some diamond dust out there to retire the side. 3 runs, 3 hits, and an error. After 2.5, it's 5-0 Dodgers. So Welch will face Sarmiento, Rose, and Griffey. Lorenzo's most painful memory being thrown out on the day of the famous 10-10 tie between Notre Dame and Michigan State and having the battery fading in and out, the game of the century at the time. I had a Walkman that the batteries would die in and just kind of tip you up like this, and it would stutter like that, and yeah. And Parsegan never lived that down. That was the first game ever shown live to Hawaii, by the way. Pitch to Sarmiento is a ground ball to Lopes over to first for the out. The third and fourth quarter of that is on YouTube because they've actually shown it on ESPN Classic. Rose, by the way, 0 for 1. Welch threw 9 batters, 2 1/3 innings, 44 pitches, a hit, and a walk. He has watched it, okay? It was so early in the history of color television. Although there were replays, the replays were in black and white. Pitch to Rose is a ground ball to Garvey. Takes it to the bag himself, 2 out. Ken Griffey singled and stole a base his first time up. The lone hit for the Reds. Pitch from Welch into center. North has it for the out. So the Reds go quietly into third. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 3, 5-0 Dodgers. Yep, and those antennas would snap. So Welch, Lopes, and Russell to face Sarmiento here in the 4th. Pete Duranko, I don't know Lynch. Terry Hanratty, I know. He was Terry Bradshaw's backup in Pittsburgh. Lorenzo, a big Irish fan. Not a heck of a lot of good college football in Central California. Welch struck out his first time up, fouls that one off. And it's 0-2. So who's good in Central California for college football? Not sure I would call Cal and Stanford Central California. Fresno State is the Giant Killers. Oh, okay. Pitch to Welch. Struck him out. So that's 2 for Sarmiento, and it's Welch both times. So, brings up Lopes. 18 batters deep for Manny. 69 pitches, 3 1/3 innings, 6 hits. A walk and 2 strikeouts. 5 runs, but only 2 are earned. I was talking in the 60s. So Lopes 1 for 2. He scored and doubled. Into left. Good night. No doubter. Into that upper deck in left field. And that's his 10th of the year. 6-0. It's our first home run of the ball game. So the Dodgers will have no trouble with a split. The Red season hangs on with a split. Here's Russell. He's 0 for 2 with a run scored. And the rain makes this crowd smaller and smaller. Pitch to Russell. Struck him out. 1-2 fastball. Strike 3. So 3 for Sarmiento. And the first one not named Welch. Here's Reggie Smith. He's 0 for 2. And that's into right. Griffey will make the catch to retire the side. But Davey Lopes with a big fly to left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 6-0 Dodgers. So Morgan, Foster, and Dreesen here in the bottom of the 4th. Apichatler again. Morgan's 0 for 1. It should. We're still at a half hour, I think, for this game. Into right. Crowd likes it. Smith is there. No win at all. 1 out. For Foster, who walked his first time up. 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. They've left 3 on, and just the 1 hit for the Reds with an error, and they've left 2. Pitch to Foster. There's a base hit in the left field. Baker throws it back in. And now bring up Dreesen, who's 0 for 1. Ground ball to Lopes. Will it be 2? No. He just goes to first for the sure out, and Foster moves into scoring position. So 2 out for Concepcion, who's 0 for 1. From the stretch, Welch into right. Smith. Reggie's there, and that will retire the side. No runs. 1 hit. The Reds strand a runner, no errors. We go to the 5th. It's still 6-0 Dodgers. So Sarmiento gives me the fatigue warning. This will probably be his last inning. Say Garvey and Baker. Say 1 for 2. He is singled and scored. Pitch to third. Rose across the way to Dreesen. For the out. 1 away for Garvey. Has walked and singled and scored twice. He now has 62 runs on the year. Game 77 for the Reds and game 76 for the Dodgers. And Garvey lines this one to center. Geronimo is there for the out. Oh, yeah, I hate the Dodgers. We're going through this again, huh? Here's Dusty Baker. He's 1 for 2. Singled and driven in a run. Don't feed into Lorenzo's paranoia. Jeez. Sarmiento deals, and that's gone. So Baker puts that one off the facing of the second deck, and it's 7-0 Los Angeles. Not a problem. Unlike my veal, which is thinly sliced. So after the first game, you would have thought the Reds would have had some momentum, but the Dodgers had not only slammed the door, they picked it up and slammed it again. And who, pray tell, should I feature the Indians against? That's true. Outside of the McCourt years, the Dodgers have been the flagship franchise of the NL. North, 1 for 2. He's got himself a stolen base and an RBI and a single. Sarmiento throws a walk. And Grody. You really don't want to waste the pitcher with the pitcher spot coming up third. Grody's 1 for 2. North is picked off. is picked off, and that will retire the side. Ho, 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 the Reds catch a break, a run on a hit, no errors, halfway home. You're going to get another ad because I need a drink. The Dodgers 7, the Reds nothing. This is game 2 of a doubleheader on a Sunday afternoon on Retro Sports Network. They may toss the beach ball around in San Pedro, but they're using it tonight as an umbrella as it continues to pour here in Cincinnati. Geronimo 0 for 1. Werner in the pitcher spot due up third. Marine Corps, oorah, and Xfinity. Help me pay my Xfinity bills by watching lots of Xfinity ads today. So Geronimo 0 for 1. I've heard great things about it. Pitch to Geronimo is in the right, in the corner, 1 away. Reggie Smith is there. Don Werner is 0 for 1. He's already exceeded his real-life at-bat total. An Amazon original called Happiness Continues, which is a story of Dave Gardner and his support chats. Yeah, the Padres would be the Marine Corps' favorite ball club, although Atlanta, I think, is the closest team, located by the Coronado and all. I've watched some of that, the Junction Boys. Bear Bryant and the heat of Texas in the summertime. You survive those practices, you can survive anything. Pitch to Werner is strike 3. So we'll pinch hit for Sarmiento, who can hit a righty. Junior Kennedy. So Kennedy, who started at second in the first game at 274, no homers and 6 RBI. Yep, brutal workouts with Tom Berenger. Was also in Major League, wasn't he? The catcher. Pitch to Kennedy, ball 4. So Welch loses him on a 3-1 low and inside through 18 batters. Welch 74 pitches, 4 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout, and no runs. And Rose is 0 for 2. And there's a ground ball to Lopes over to Garvey for the out, and that will retire the side. And so after 5, no runs, no hits, no errors. New pitcher coming in, 7-0 Dodgers. Oh, the spider stuff is fun. If you're going to pull this stunt, at least you could have said you were from the Yankees. And so, again, here's the situation. You got Doug Bear. And on 1 day's rest, you're going to have to go with Tom Hume, who can go maybe 2 innings. This is his 17th game. He has an 8-game losing streak. He is 1-10 with no saves and a 4.93 ERA. He started against Houston, and the Reds really are running on Humes. Very funny. He pitched on June 29th. He went 6 1/3 innings. He was shellacked. 12 hits, 6 runs, all earned. He walked 1 and struck out 3. He did pitch well against the Dodgers on the 24th, but he's yet to beat him. He's 0-3. So in 98 innings, he's thrown 111 hits, 56 runs, 54 earned. He has walked 27 and struck out 50, and is not scheduled to pitch until July 4th. So although he's on short rest, he's going to get used. And the fastball at 87. Grody 1 for 2. He had a big hit in the second to make it 2-0. And there's a little number down to Concepcion and over to first for the out. After the game, we'll go through the rest of the Friday in baseball and tell you that Baltimore and Boston is our noontime game tomorrow. Bob Welch is 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. Hume. Ground ball to Concepcion through the drops over to first for the out. It is raining pretty hard here, and if I had rain outs in there, I'm sure it would cancel the game at this point. Davey Lopes wipes off the bat, 2 for 3. He has doubled and homered, his 10th of the year, and drove in 32. Pitch to Lopes. Popped up left side. Rose. That one goes well into the seats on the third base side. Somebody from Columbus trying to eat some skyline made that catch, and the count is 2-2. And he lost him, ball 4. Do I want 9-inning games? What do you mean? Yeah, Welch has thrown a 2-hit shutout and is halfway through his pitch count. He's pitched very well. Lopes. Throw to first. Lopes back. Russell, 0 for 3. Struck out once and scored a run. Yeah. I'm streaming the games. If this was a card and dice game, I wouldn't have a rain out. Second game of a doubleheader, I wouldn't necessarily mind, but no. You guys are paying to watch a ball game. You want to have rainouts on your own accord, that's fine, but you're paying for an hour of entertainment. Those who chip in money and send money and all that, you're entitled to get your hour of entertainment. Pitch to Russell, and now there comes the rain. There comes the rain, and this is not what either team wanted. Thanks, Lorenzo. Wasn't asking for money, but... And so 29 pitches, or 29, but nope, that wasn't a hit. You know, it's the thing. You know, you guys are paying for through the Patreons or the subs here, or you know, I'll take the bits, not a problem, but I'm never gonna ask for them. You tell me how to get them, I'll say a secret word, but you know. You snuck in the stadium. So you're paying for an hour stream. I'm going to give you an hour stream. So Hume, not what the Reds wanted. Russell's 0 for 3. And here's the pitch from Hume. Struck him out, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. So a half-hour rain delay in Game 2. The rain has stopped. And we had the wrestling fight in Game 1. So I'll be curious to see just how long this one would have gone. So we got an hour's worth of padding already from a doubleheader that started at 5:30. The secret word is loose balls. Okay. Ken Griffey will face Bob Welch, who may not be able to go the distance now, but he's still in pretty good shape. Griffey 1 for 2. A single and stolen a base. 7-0 Dodgers. I know what that is. And Welch has thrown a 2-hitter through 5. Into right. Smith. That was hit hard, but right at him, and there's one away. Here's Morgan. 0 for 2. Welch from the line, and there's a base hit right center field. North throwing to second. Morgan safe. Lorenzo, you just, stop it. Dave will pounce in and out. He's really not a big baseball fan. Foster 1 for 1. He singled a walk. The tarp was out there, and now it's off. Round ball right back to Lopes, who makes a diving stop over to first. Morgan goes to third. Lopes probably saved a run. So 2 out for Dreesen, who's 0 for 2. He's a football fan. He's a football fan. But hockey's his favorite sport. No, Dave's not a one-trick pony. Pitch to Dreesen. Right back to Welch, and the side is retired. So the Reds get a hit, and that's it. We go to the 7th in game 2. It's the Dodgers 7, the Reds nothing. So Hume's schedule, he's playing basketball. He's got a lot of good content. Dave's thing is really kind of the quicker play games. He is a good page. He's a good football fan. Smith is 0 for 3. We love the podcast. Dave actually watches a lot of golf. So Smith is 0 for 3. We'll give Hume a base runner here. And Smith homers. A no-doubter in the dead center field, and that's a 13th for Reggie, and out comes Sparky again. They already used Bear in game 1. And so they'll go to Fred Norman because it's his normal throw day. So they go with the lefty. He did make 5 relief appearances, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. He is 5-6 with a 3.55 ERA. The rain delay really messed up the Reds' pen. In fact, the delays in both games really messed up the Reds' pen. He pitched against the Dodgers on the 23rd, gave up 5 runs and 5 1/3, only 3 earned. Against the Astros, he threw 5 1/3, 9 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 5, and so in 91 innings, he's allowed 85 hits, 9 homers, 43 runs, 36 earned, 36 walks, 57 strikeouts. If it was the 8th, you'd probably go with Bear, but again, he didn't pitch well in game 1. So say a 1 for 3 with a run scored. And that's ball 4. And so this really is a tale of 2 different games. The Reds blew out the Dodgers in game 1. Don't let that 13-8 score fool you. The Reds had them for a long time and the Dodgers fought back. In game 2, it's been all Los Angeles, 8-0. Here's Garvey. Garvey 1 for 2. He's walked and singled and scored twice. To Concepcion, they're only going to get 1. Maybe the long throw to first, and Garvey beat it out. On the wet turf, that slowed up a bit. And so although it is hard, it took a weird wet bounce, and there's still nobody out for Baker. He put one off the facing of the deck in left field for his 6th of the year. He's 2 for 3. Right to Concepcion for the first out, 1 away. Dick Wagner, who would not allow ABC to televise Monday night games in Cincinnati. When they were home, emptied the Reds farm system in a hurry. They traded away Ross Grimsley, John Vukovich, Joaquin Andahar, Mike Caldwell, Bill Caudell, Shane Raleigh, Dale Murray. There's more. I'll get to that in a second. North is 1 for 2, and there's a base hit right field. Say will hold at third. The bases are loaded for Grody, who's 1 for 3 with 2 RBI. And did not pony up the money for the following draft picks: Andy McGaffigan, Otis Nixon, Jay Howell, Tim Laudner. Pitch to Grody right up the middle. Morgan. And a try for 2. Concepcion for 1. Grody is not fast. And do they get him? Yes, they do. That's a double play. Dodgers get a run. Stretch time, game 2, 8-0. And so Concepcion, Geronimo, and Werner to face Welch here in the 7th. And the bullpen just was, I mean, it's just showing off in spades here today. The Reds should have easily won Game 1. Now, Welch is throwing bullets at the Reds here in Game 2, but I've already had to burn 2 starters just to get through to the 8th inning. And the computer had used Bourbon 7 straight games. Concepcion's 0 for 2, and Welch draws ball 4. Full count high and away for Geronimo, who's 0 for 2. But to be fair, Big Clue, I mean, Concepcion hitting third 17 times? There's just no excuse for that. Pitch to Geronimo is in the center field. North will flag it down. Concepcion goes back and brings up Don Werner, who's 0 for 2. Concepcion goes. Grody throws down to second. They got him! A tag there, and he had a 73% chance of stealing the base, and Grody threw him out. I'm 2 hours and 1 minute into this. I don't think my voice can... Since when is Klitsch sexual? A glitch in the AI thinking? I would, but, I mean, I'll show you the pin when we get back up there. So, Werner 0 for 2, and he's got a 1-ball count. Welch got him, and Bob Welch is throwing a shutout. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to this 8th. It's still 8-0 Dodgers. Let me show you. Tomlin is worn out. Bear has 61 pitches on his arm, and Bourbon is tired. I mean, the bullpen is 3 pitchers. That's it. It would have been Sarmiento being 4th, but he started, because it's an as-played replay, he started the second game. And so Seaver's not tired, but he pitches tomorrow. And so I just started to go backwards with the pitcher on the 4th and the pitcher on the 3rd. So you get a big log jam of games and doubleheaders, and yeah, in the summertime those pitchers were tired, but as you know, the starters were expected to go longer. It didn't help in Game 1 that you had the delay. Here's Welch, he's 0 for 3. And there's a liner to center. Geronimo is there, 1 out. Here's Lopes. Davey 2 for 3. He has doubled and homered. His 10th of the year. Scored twice and walked. Doug Corbett was traded the next year. Future pitching coaches Mike Maddox and Larry Rothschild both exited the system too. Yeah, I mean, you know, the Reds, when they are run well, are a good team. And when they're not, it's Shotzi. Pitch to Lopes. Ball 4. So Russell's 0 for 4. He has struck out twice and scored. The Dodgers just had the best farm system in baseball. The Reds could develop talent, but they just couldn't keep it. And look at all those Dodgers rookies of the year. Absolutely right. Throw to first. Lopes back. Pitch out. And nothing going. So 1-0 the count. 8-0 Dodgers here in the 8th. Pitch to Russell. Struck him out. So Russell has struck out 3 times. 1-2 fastball swung on and missed, and there's Reggie Smith. 1 for 4 in a solo shot. I believe that's the one that hit off the deck in center. 64 degrees. Those who have hung around have got a good, lovely weather night. July 1st is tomorrow. Red Sox and Orioles for you, noon Eastern. Yeah, Pedro Martinez was indeed a Dodger prospect. Pitch to Reggie. There goes Lopes into center field. Geronimo makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 7.5, it's the Dodgers 8, the Reds nothing. So Norman's just going to bat. We're down 8 runs. He's hitting 154 with 2 RBI. They have nobody left in the pen, and you're down 8 runs. So Welch gets the break. Right back to Bobby over to first for the out. I do the as played because it's fair. I know in the World Series there was some controversy about who the hell I was playing at third base for the Orioles, but that's who Earl used down the stretch. Here's Rose. He's 0 for 3. Welch trying to throw a shutout. He's allowed 3 hits through 7 1/3. 27 batters, 100 pitches. He's walked 3 and struck out 2. Base hit all the way down the line and left. That gets in the corner. Rose is going to slide into second with a double. And Griffey is 1 for 3. Hey. We don't talk about the Red Sox like that. I don't know how well it would sell, Robbie, a soccer game. Griffey 1 for 3 with a stolen base and a single. He didn't have hockey until about 5 years ago. Pitch to Kenny. Line drive to center. Road north is there. 2 out. For Joe Morgan, 1 for 3. He's got himself a double. Yeah, I think the Sox got off too easy with that. I like John Henry. Lucchino is not my favorite. Pitch to Morgan. Rose leads off. There's a ground ball, right side base hit. Rose will score. At least it won't be a shutout. And it's 8-1. George Foster is 1 for 2. He is singled and walked. Yeah, there was some favoritism. Henry was one of the owners of the Florida Marlins, and he essentially traded it to get the Expos and the shot to buy the Red Sox. It would have been nice to have seen a respectable team in Miami. I don't know if they'd have gotten a stadium, though. The good thing about Henry is, and I didn't agree with it at the time, was that they were able to redo Fenway. Foster 1 for 2. Single and walk. Morgan not going to steal. Welch strikes him out. So 1-2 on the inside corner. And that'll be the inning. But the Reds get on the board a run on 2 hits and no errors. After 8, 8-1 Los Angeles. Henry has done a good job. Also saved the Boston Globe, too. And DeWitt in St. Louis, yep. He's done a good job as well. Say is 1 for 3. Norman coming out for his 3rd inning. He has walked and scored. 8-1 here in Game 2. The Reds won the first game 13-8. So both teams get what they want here. Say in the left. Foster go to the track. 1 out. Garvey 2 for 3. He has scored twice and walked. So tomorrow, noontime baseball for you, Red Sox and Orioles. We will do support chat around 6:30. Not doing support chat today. I've been yapping for 2 hours and 8 minutes as it is. Yeah, I'm with you, Big Clue, as far as Cora got away with it in Houston, didn't do the same thing in Boston. Garvey 2 for 3, has singled twice and scored twice and walked. And so support chat tomorrow night. And then afterwards, about 7:30, we will do our first hard look at Action PC Football 2020. 81 Browns and Bengals from Riverfront Stadium. So we'll convert this over to football. Brian Sipe and Kenny Anderson. So that's tomorrow night at 7:30, right here on Twitch on Retro Sports Network. Pitch to Garvey is strike 3, and so Norman got him to chase a 1-2, and that's 2 for Norman, and that brings up Dusty Baker, who is 2 for 4. He's got himself a homer. Oh, you got me for almost 2.5 hours today, Robbie. Pitch to Baker. Popped up left side. Rose will make the catch. And that will retire the side. We go to the bottom of the ninth. The Reds need 7 to tie and 8 to win. Think they can get it? It'll be Bob Welch looking to get the shutout against to get the win against Andreessen, Dave Concepcion, and Cesar Geronimo. Dreesen is 0 for 3. Welch trying for a second big league win. Got him. An 0-2 swing and a miss on a 70-mile-an-hour chugger. And that's 4 for Welch. I'll bring up Concepcion, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. So the Dodgers will go to 50 and 26, unless the bottom drops out right here. And the Reds will go to 41 and 36. But they will not lose any ground to the Dodgers. They'll stay 9.5 back. Pitch to Concepcion. To second, Lopes in the hole, over to first, 2 out. So last chance saloon here. Geronimo 0 for 3. So Welch, it's a big win for the Dodgers. Absolutely huge. Here's the pitch. And we're not done yet. Geronimo going for 2. It bounced to north and center field. Geronimo gets his uniform dirty. 2 out double. And we'll pinch hit for Werner with Johnny Bench. So those of you who've hung around for the entire show, you get another Johnny Bench at bat, 388. 14 homers and 43 RBI. Thank you, sir. So Bench waves it back and forth. 8 runs, 11 hits, no error, 7 left on for the Dodgers. 1 run, 6 hits, an error, and 6 left on so far for the Reds. Welch delivers. Bench strikes out, and we're done. And so the Reds, at worst, needed a split. They got it. They really needed a sweep, but they'll take a split. And now the Dodgers are 7 and 3 against the Reds. Did I say Perez? I thought I said Bench. 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors. A run on 6 hits and 1 error for the Reds. Welch is our player of the game. Here. Oh. Okay. Welch goes to 2-0. He's our player of the game. Digital Dice player of the game. 9 innings. 6 hits. A run. It was earned. He walked 3 and struck out 5, and he threw 132 pitches. He should have only thrown 102, and he had minus stuff. Manny Sarmiento gave it his all. 5 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs, 4 earned, 2 homers. He walked 2 and struck out 3. Human Norman. Do yeoman's work out of the pen. And so we had a fighter delay in Game 1 and a rain delay in Game 2. And so we'll say this went 3 hours and 22 minutes. So the game doesn't end until Saturday morning. And so let's play the rest of the day in baseball. Oh boy, are you tired? I am. So Game 1, 13-8. Moscow goes to 6-2. And George Foster 4 for 5 with a double. This is the only doubleheader on the dance card, and this is the last games in June. There was another doubleheader. The Cubs and Phillies split one. Cubs winning opener 2-0 behind Mike Krukow. And the Phillies, behind Steve Carlton, shut out the Cubs in Game 2, 10-0. Hebner with his 8th in Game 2. Anything else I should know about there? No. Cincinnati, by the way, had 19 hits in Game 1. Atlanta 4, San Francisco 3. Gene Garber goes to 2-2. Darrell Evans with 3 walks and a double. Montreal beats St. Louis 6-4. Ross Grimsley goes to 10-5. Andre Dawson is 15th of the year. Pirates finally win a damn game. They beat the Mets 7-5. Don Robinson goes to 5-3. Nino Espinosa and you takes the loss. Tigers 6, Yankees 3. Foucault takes the loss 3-2. Win 3-2. Don Gullett with a win 1-3. Cleveland pounds out 16 hits. They beat the Blue Jays 9-4. Rick Wise with a win. He goes to 7-6. Baltimore 4, Boston 2. Mike Flanagan gets the win. Don Stanhouse the save. Louis Tiant takes a loss. The Red Sox slip to 7.5. You'll see the Orioles host the Red Sox tomorrow. Houston behind J.R. Richard. 5 strikeouts in a complete game shutout. 2-0 over the Padres. Second game of a doubleheader between the Braves and the Giants, and the Giants beat Atlanta 5-4. Halicki with the win. Gary Matthews hits 2 homers in game 2. Texas has a 13-game winning streak. They beat the Angels 9-5. 7 stolen bases in that Steve Komer win. Seattle beats Milwaukee 3-0. Parrott gets the win. Kansas City 4, Oakland 1. Willie Upshaw, by the way, for Toronto has a 15-game hitting streak. All right. Oh, thank you, my friend. Standings really quick. Phillies by 3 over the Pirates. Dodgers by 4 over the Astros. Baltimore a 1.5 over the Yankees. And Kansas City by 2 over Texas. Thank you so much. We spent the good part of the day together. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.